welcome back to my YouTube channel. I hope you're having a wonderful day. Today it's a very cloudy day, it's raining, and while the little glimpse of spring we had last week is well and truly out the way, and we're back to normal English weather, so I'm having a very cosy day. It's freezing, I'm actually really cold. I haven't really glammed myself up too much, other than sticking a lot of concealer over a big black eye I have after getting a little tipsy at my birthday bash on Saturday. In today's video I'm going to do an updated Q&A. I asked a little while ago on Instagram to ask me some new questions, and today I'm finally getting around to filming it. But the first part of this video has very kindly been sponsored by Cherries, and I also have a discount code for you, which is Scarlet M20 for 20% off of your first order. So, I have been sent this ginormous and very extremely heavy actually box from Cherries. And for those of you that have never heard of Cherries before, Cherries is basically an online home shop for like cleaning products and things like that, but at a discounted price. So a little bit like B&M and Home Bargains, but online. So let me show you guys what I have decided to pick up this time round. Okay, so the bins are also full, but I've got two pink bins. I've got one for my bathroom and one for my dressing room. And I think they're about £1, maybe £2. I don't even think they were £2 to be honest, so absolute bargain. And in here, this is a very boring haul, but I've got two new sink plugs with drainers, because I just fancied some new ones to be honest. I have some microfiber cloths. Now I've actually got two of these. I've got one set for Ringo for hot clothing this summer because it's dust season, and one for at home. We have some doggy treats. They're going to be extremely happy to receive these. Tumble dryer sheets. Rather than a scrub daddy, I've got a scrub mummy this time for my kitchen. Obviously I've got chocolates, I've got blue ribbons, I have some animal biscuits, and I have some Freddo, and that is obviously in the empty bins in there. Two white vinegar sprays. These are amazing in washing, especially for like towels and bedding. I literally go through so many of these. Some Cif, some fairy liquid. I also have some Dove Summer Body. This is like a self-tanning moisturiser, which is just really great if you've forgotten to fake tan, or you just want to be a tiny bit more brown before going out. You can just pop some on and you'll just get kind of browner throughout the day. I've also got some Dove hand wash. Dreamies for the cats. They're not unstoppables, honestly could not live without these. Some Zaflora, again I pop, this is in Linen Fresh, and again I pop a capful in with my bedding and towels. And then last but not least in today's haul, I have some microwave and fridge cleaners. So that is my little Cherries haul, and thank you so much to Cherries for sponsoring this part of the video. And don't forget that I have a discount code for you off of your first order, which is Scarlet M20 for 20% off. And you can find all of these products and a load more in the Cherries app. Okay, so I'm now going to dive straight into the questions, and I'm going to start from the bottom up. So I'm not going to answer all of them, I'll just answer the best ones. So number one is, would I ever sell Ringo? No. I really do think he's part of the family for life now. This is my 14th year of owning him, and he is 15 in May or April. I think it's May, I will double check, but I'm pretty sure it's May. And I can't imagine ever parting with him now. He just feels like home, and he's just part of the family. And especially being 15 now, I don't know how easily 15-year-olds sell, so I'm gonna say no to that, because I just can't. I mean, I don't like life. I know sometimes obviously life goes in different directions and you can't control what happens, but if my life stays as it is now, then he would never be for sale. How many saddle pads do I have? Okay, so I have, I think 13 was the last time I counted, which is an astonishing amount. I can't actually believe I have 13. This time last year I had one. I had one that was about 6 or 7 years old, and I really needed an upgrade. And I remember when I moved to Forest Oaks and I saw Harlow's collection, I was like, oh my god, I was like, I'm really jealous, but that's also a lot of saddle pads. Surely for one horse you only need one. However, now I completely understand, once you have one, you have to have 100, you know, and every single colour, and all these brands bring out all these new colours every single year, twice a year, and it becomes like a real problem, like it's a bit of an addiction. So at the moment we have 13, 14. I got one for my birthday, so 14. My new yard actually got me one for my birthday from Animo, so I think now we're at 14, I think. So, I mean, it's too many for one pony, but I'm not going to lie, it's going to carry on growing. Question number 3. Okay, this question I am asked every single day, at least 10 times a day, and that is either, why have you moved yards, or have you moved yards? Now, I have obviously moved yards. I moved yards 5 months ago now, which is basically nearly half a year ago. I have a whole YouTube video on moving yards, and once again, to put it really, really plainly and simply, I'm now only 20 minutes away from Ringo's yard, which obviously is so easy for travel, and he just gets all day turnout, which for me is just great because it just means if I can't get up there for the day, he can go out in the field all day. So there's no hard feelings, there's no like drama or anything like that behind it. It's just closer to my home, he gets all day turnout. And please guys, there's only so many questions every single day I can get of have you moved yards? Yes, I have moved yards. You can see I'm not a Forest Oaks anymore. And so yeah, please stop with the questions, because I definitely have moved yards nearly half a year ago. There's no drama, there's no gossip behind it, it's just closer to where I live. So I hope you guys can now accept that. So how did you become a model for equestrian brands? I just one day decided to be one, and it's as simple as that. I bought a good camera, and I took some photos, you know, in my own clothing that I had at the time, started tagging brands, eventually got noticed, and then brands, you know, started coming to me, and I'm now at a point where I'm making money out of it as well, so I'm now not... So I do actually have a full video all on equestrian modelling, so do check out that video on my YouTube channel. But biggest tip is buy a good camera, take lots of photos in clothing that you already wear, tag the brands, and also invest in brands that you're desperate to get the attention of as well, bigger brands, etc, etc. How did you move yours? Do you find your own collaborations, or do you have an agent? I don't have an agent or a manager. I'm doing everything on my own at the moment. I'm not saying that I won't in the future, but right now it's really nice that I'm just doing everything on my own back, and I've got really nice relationships with the brands that I work with, and I really like that kind of personal side to it, if that makes sense. What's Ringo's feed routine? He looks amazing. Well, thank you very much. So he has constant access to either hay or grass. When he's in the field, there's always grass in the field. When he's in the stable, he always has haylage, sorry, not hay. So that's like a really big thing for me. It's really good quality haylage. And so supplement wise, he has garlic, he has turmeric powder. His garlic powder, actually he's on garlic oil at the moment, but usually garlic powder, turmeric powder and linseed oil. And then feed wise, I don't fully know what he's on at the yard, but I do know that the majority of his feed is calm and conditioned from Dodson and Horrell. But also I think the shine in his coat is also just like the hormones from being a stallion. He's ridiculously shiny all winter, no clip, and he still looks like pretty much pristine. But also I think including oil in their feeds is really, really helpful. It produces a really good healthy shiny coat. It's like us if we eat like oil rich foods such as salmon. If you eat a lot of salmon, you'll really notice it in the condition of your skin, your hair and your nails, and I think it works the exact same for horses. What is your job? So I am a full-time content creator and model. I'm specifying at the moment in the equestrian sector, but I'm looking to start branching out into other areas as well. How often do I see Ringo? I see Ringo about at the moment 5 days a week. I think when the sun's out a little bit more often, it's probably going to be more often. If it's horrendous weather and it's like raining non-stop, I will ride 4 times that week and just brave it. But if the weather's really, really nice, I will see Ringo about 5 or 6 times a week, especially because it's so close to where I am now. Like, it's just literally up the road, so there's kind of no excuse for me not to go all the time. Would you ever license Ringo? If so, what is the process? No idea, and and no idea. He isn't a licensed stallions is when they're licensed for breeding, isn't it? I think. Do you know what? I have absolutely no clue on this subject, so I can't actually answer that. But he hasn't had any babies, so does that mean he's not licensed? I don't know, but I also don't know the process, so that's not the best question to ask me, because I have no idea. But when the day comes that I need to have an idea, I will let you guys know. Will you ever get another horse, or are you going to keep Ringo for a while? Ringo's staying forever. And in terms of getting another horse, it's not on the cards. Sometimes it is. I mean, I'm not in a position at the moment to be able to afford 2 ponies on livery, or a horse and a pony on livery. But actually at the competition the other day, I saw these beautiful great big dressage horses going absolutely ballistic, being absolute nightmares in the warm-up. And I'm on a little 13-2 chunky monkey pony that's not put a foot wrong, that didn't put a foot wrong all day, and I know exactly which one I'd rather take home and which one I'd rather be riding. And it definitely put me off getting a big fancy horse, because my goodness me, would I wanted to get on one of them. No, they're beautiful. Really, really appreciate them to look at. Good on you for anyone that has one. You know, hats off to you, credits to you. I'll enjoy watching you, but I will not be joining you. How long have I been riding? I have been riding since I was about 2, maybe even younger, before I could walk, before I could talk. My mum was very horsey. She actually isn't anymore, but she was very horsey, and my first pony was a blue-eyed Shetland called Rosie, who was a complete well, typical Shetland. How do you like your new yard? We love our new yard. Our new yard is amazing. Everybody there is so lovely. We're extremely happy and everything is going really well. So thank you very much for asking. We are extremely happy. How old will Ringo be when he has babies? I don't know. I really don't know. I like him at the moment because he doesn't know what it's all about, and so he really isn't very stallion-y at all, and he, you know, we ride next to one of the girls at the yard has a mare, and we basically crashed the other day. He has no idea that it's a mare, you know, and it's lovely. You know, when the stable yard's full and we're walking back through after riding and all the horses have their heads over the door, absolutely no interest. There's not even like a, you know, there is nothing. Yesterday the yard was really noisy. All the horses were like whinnying all the time. The farrier was there and there was a couple of people coming in for lessons. And like everyone was talking to each other all the time. I was like, oh my God, what is going on? Ringo? No, not bothered. And that's how I want it to stay, because I like being safe, and I like the fact he hasn't got a clue. So I don't know. I think when he retires is probably the best time for me to do it, but I'm not sure when he's going to be retired, so I don't know. What is your favourite colour from Lemire, or your top 3? So I love papaya this year, and I loved Rioja last year, and I also love the watermelon. So I think they're probably... Oh, actually, no, do you know what? I'm going to say papaya, Rioja, and champagne are my favourite three colours. Why did you leave? How come you moved? Honestly, it's a little bit ridiculous. Will I be getting another horse? How old is Ringo? Ringo is 15 this year. Are you still training with Ellie? I'm not training with Ellie, just because, again, it's now about an hour in the other direction, so again, it's just a little bit too far out. Will you be getting a bigger horse anytime soon to help with your jumping? No, especially not to help with my jumping. If it's to do a dressage, maybe one day, if it's really safe, but definitely not to help my jumping. I'm alright not being helped with my jumping. How many days of the week do you ride? Again, 4 or 5, sometimes 6. Depends, really. Depends on the weather, depends on what's going on in the world. Sometimes I just go up and I'll give him a lunge or just a brush. But yeah, at least 4 times a week. Why did you choose Ringo? I didn't actually choose Ringo. My mum and dad did. They went to the Welsh Cob Sales in Builth, Wales a few years ago. I say a few years ago, 14 years ago. And a beautiful chestnut with a flaxen mane and tail foal, Welsh Section D, was trotted into the arena, and it was like a superstar. He still is beautiful. He was just very naughty, so we did actually sell him because he was just too naughty for me, and he grew. He was like nearly 16 hands, I think. And at the time, again, I was about 12, so it was too much for me. So they bought him as the superstar, and then my mum wanted a companion for him to come home with on the lorry because it's quite a long journey. And a couple of lots later, in comes this extremely scruffy liver roan with all this hair. If Ringo's hair's left unmanaged, it grows both sides and like huge. 4 white socks, and Mum just thought nobody else bid on him. He was £250 including VAT, but the only reason that Mum bought him, one, obviously because he was really cheap, and he just had this massive trot. Apparently he just came into the arena like absolutely going with his trot, and she just thought to herself, well, you know, you can't really find a bad horse that moves like that, and even if he is, you know, he'll make a really good pony club pony anyway. So he wasn't actually the one bought to keep, but he is the only pony. I mean, I had 18 ponies at one point in my life, and out of every single pony I've ever owned, Ringo's the only one that stayed. So that's how Ringo kind of came about and entered the family. Dream horse, probably everybody's dream horse, Allegro. How is it filming in front of a whole yard of people? It's hard. It's actually quite hard, and I actually struggle sometimes. Sometimes I don't, sometimes I do. It depends on the day, and it depends on, I don't know, I think it depends on, it really depends on the day, and it depends of the mood of the day. If I'm in like a really good confident mood and everybody, like the sun's shining and everyone's like, woo, I'm fine. But if it's like raining and everyone's like, oh, it's raining, then I struggle. I don't know why. So I do have a microphone, so it really helps. If I am feeling a little bit like, oh God, don't really want to be talking in front of the camera today, I can kind of almost whisper and it still picks it up. So some days I'm absolutely fine with it, and the more you do, the better you get. But sometimes I don't like to talk, because I don't really like to feel like I'm invading people's privacy. So I try to go to the yard on times where I know that it's quite quiet, and then I don't mind, because I don't want to stop other people's, you know, like if someone can hear you talking to the camera, like they stop their conversations, and I don't like that. I don't want people to have to stop doing what they're doing just for me to be able to film video. So I'm quite cautious to only, you know, kind of go when and say things when it's like, I don't know, I do struggle, but the more you do it, the better you get, and the more confident you get. Fine in public and things now, I don't know, just some days I have absolutely no worries with it, and other days I'm like, oh, I can't talk today. Do I live alone? These are kind of questions that are a little bit too private, to be perfectly honest. For like my own safety reasons, I'm not going to answer that one. If you were to get a new horse, what discipline would you do? Again, just plainly dressage, I think now. Are you going to get another horse? Would you consider hogging Ringo's mane? Absolutely not. It would be an absolute mess. Do you have any siblings? I do have a brother. Yeah. I'm not the biggest fan of my brother, but I do have a brother. There's just so many, why did I move? How come you... Just curious, not trying to pry. Okay, do I have any sponsors? I do not have any sponsors, and I do not have any sponsors for a reason. If you are sponsored by a company, you then cannot work with any other companies or brands within the same kind of sector, usually within the contract. And that's what a lot of people find. If, you know, they go after brand ambassadorships and stuff, they can only wear and use that brand, which for me is just never going to work. I love working with lots of different brands, and it's what I base my business off of as well. So I have actually turned down quite a few sponsorship offers. The only ones that I would accept would be hats and boots, where I don't need to worry about other brands, you know, like I can just wear one hat brand and I can just wear one boot brand, and that's the kind of sponsorships that I would accept. But in terms of clothing and kind of horse wear and things like that, I love wearing lots of different brands, so sponsorship wise is a no. How old am I? I'm 24. I've just turned 24 and I'm getting old. What made you get into influencing in YouTube? I actually was a YouTuber a couple of years ago, but more in kind of like the beauty and lifestyle sector. And I think because everybody does it, it's really difficult to kind of make a move in there, because everybody in their sister now does beauty on YouTube and things like that, so it's so much harder to kind of get somewhere. And then when I moved to Forest Oaks, obviously it's a beautiful yard, lovely backgrounds, and also I think equestrianism in the YouTube industry was growing a lot more as well. I just one day thought, why not give it a go, and here I am today. That's my favourite Lumia colour, I've done that one. Have I got a boyfriend? I don't. I'm so happily single. I really am so happily single. Do you plan on getting another horse? If you were to get another horse, what breed would you get? Please say hi, Chloe, in your video. Hello, Chloe. I'm not sure. Because I don't know if I want another horse at the moment. But whatever I was to get, whatever I am to get, if and when I do, I like chunky. Like, I like to have a lot of horse around me. Not like ridiculously like, but just I like to have a little bit of bone. And I wouldn't want anything I don't think above 16 hands, just so I'm a little bit closer to the ground. What is your budget for a new horse when you do get one? No idea, because I'm not about to get one, and I don't have the funds for what I would want if I was to get one. You know, horse prices at the moment are just absolutely ridiculous. So, have I got 100 grand to spend on a horse? No. No, I have not. What is the biggest height you have ever jumped? I don't know. I think years and years ago I jumped about a metre on Ringo. If I can find the picture, I'll put it up here. But I put it on Instagram a while ago saying I'm not sure how big it is, and a lot of people replied saying that's about a metre. But in my lessons with Mark, just after Christmas, we were doing about 80 centimetres. But Ringo's since done a metre with Mark when he was training with him. So, but I haven't actually touched jumping in a while, just because I've been focusing on dressage after our competition. And the weather hasn't been very nice, and I'm just not that confident in jumping. What's your favourite food? My favourite food is sushi, probably. Love sushi. And chocolate. I'm a massive chocoholic. But yeah, if you're talking like a food, probably sushi. Are you planning on competing again? I am. If you haven't seen my last competition vlog, I will leave it up here if I remember to. If not, just do go back. If not, do go back and check on my channel. But I have recently competed on Ringo at Wellington doing some dressage, and I'm yet to book another competition, but I definitely will be. Where did you get Ringo? I've done that one. Another horse. What year did you get Ringo? How many years ago? It was 14 years probably. 2008 must have been. Yeah, how old is Ringo? Ringo's 15. There's a few video ideas on here as well. We buy a new horse. Okay, so I'm going to get a little bit more picky with the questions, because I have now been talking for nearly 30 minutes. So the best thing about owning a horse is just owning a horse. You know, I think if anybody owns a horse, we're so lucky to be able to own horses. There are so many people that can't afford to own horses, don't live in areas where they can have a horse, and just haven't had the opportunities to own a horse. And you know, for me, just having a horse is, I feel extremely lucky to have one. You know, especially, you know, you can go up and ride whenever you want to, and it's a real thing that I'm extremely grateful for. But probably one of the least good things about owning a horse is the cost sometimes. You know, unexpected vet bills, you know, even getting their teeth done, their injections are so expensive. Things like that are, you know, not very fun. And the rain. If you haven't got an indoor school, the rain is also not the best thing when owning a horse. The winter, not the one. But yeah, other than that, there aren't really that many that many kind of bad things. If you've got a good horse, there's not many bad things about owning a horse other than cost and weather. How long do you ride on hacks and in the arena? So on hacks, it depends on which way we go. We can go a longer way onto the common, and we can go kind of into the New Forest. I haven't actually taken Ringo down there yet since being at the New Yard, just because the weather hasn't been that great. And every time we do, sometimes it's just nice just to do like a short kind of 30-40 minute hack around the village, which is really, really lovely, and it means we're not passing any horses. So Ringo's a really, really good boy in a hack, so long as we don't have to go past like loose horses, because he'll stop, he won't do anything, but he stops. He has a whinny, and then you get loose New Forest horses coming over to you, which on a stallion isn't the most wonderful thing in the world. So all the while we're hacking around the village, we're having a lovely time, having a little wander, and for that's about 30 to 45 minutes, I think, depending on kind of which way we go. And then when I'm in the arena, anywhere between 20 to 45 minutes. I don't really ever do above 45 minutes, sometimes 15, depending on the time, the weather, how I'm feeling, how he's going. Yeah, I should really maybe time it a little bit more and start doing more kind of 30 to 45 minutes, but I go, if there's a problem, then we'll carry on and fix the problem that, you know, that's there on the day. But if he's going really, really well and he's done very well in 20 minutes, that's enough for me. And then stop off at the cafe next door and get some cake. Do more hacking videos. Are you looking to make Ringo a dad at some point? How long have we had Ringo? How did you start riding? Okay, I am going to stop now because I've got loads and loads more, but they're kind of all on and around the same subject that I've already kind of discussed. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'm really sorry it's quite a casual, easy kind of style video. I don't have anything else to film today. The weather's horrendous, and at least getting another video out. I did promise you guys as well a updated Q&A, and so I hope that's answered some of your questions. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day, and I look forward to seeing you in my next video. Bye!